down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
2nd and 10.
Value three, value three.
From his goal line here, Goff. And incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
We're good, we're good.
Now Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this 1st half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the 1st half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different in that position.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. How do they come through on this play and get the series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw, Smith. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to get the football back at their own 17.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they were moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 1 yard. Goff. And that is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Off play action. Here's Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Returnable for Lockett. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a close game like this, costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Another reception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Metcalf motions left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And it is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, his first touchdown here in the new campaign. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So after the disappointment disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles. This looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Patterson back out there to send this one away. From the end zone, here comes Eskridge. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I want to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll send a receiver in motion left. On first down, it's Smith. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Smith. Finding Smith and Jigba downfield. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 30 yards.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability, and that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. Geno now to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. Here's Moore. He will return it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. Collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now it's gone. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Patterson's kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. So what a turnaround there. A roughing call on the field goal try leads to 1st and goal. Back to throw. Goff. And in for the Lions touchdown. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Lions have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. On the return, it's Eskridge, and he'll bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. And Walker has it. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
Smith on 1st down. His throw incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On second down, it's Walker. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. To throw on 2nd down is Goff. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And St. Brown going to have the Lions 1st down as he's up to the 40-yard line. Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit 1st down. Now a give to Gibbs, running left. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Devin Bush sprinting behind the line to track down the ball carrier.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. Play action. It's Goff. And that is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
11.
Here's Goff. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
2 for 1. Two.
Gibbs fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Montgomery is in for a Lions touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Patterson back out there to send this one away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out, and as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. From the end zone, here comes Eskridge. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Here we go.
On first down, Smith. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now 2nd and 9. Now it's Smith. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Smith now to throw. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Fielded at about the 28. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and they will take over 1st and 10. offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And sometimes, I guess, maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back. And essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys, and that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far. Meanwhile, Goff's throw complete there to St. Brown. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. This 2nd and 4.
Value 3. Value 3. Done.
Gibbs straight ahead. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
25 yards that time. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll run with Gibbs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff. And the Lions add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Here's Moore. He will return it. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because
They're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Gino. And his throw here is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now Smith. Left side complete to Lockett. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another 1st down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Smith. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops from one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And now here is another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. Down the left sideline. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, it's Eskridge, and he'll bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. He's on his way. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Myers connects on the PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
That's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here's 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Geno. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now Geno on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing till the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And what is going on here? I've got 3rd down. Screen shows 3rd down, but they've got the punt team out there. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Louis. What's that?
Goff going to throw it. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
That one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, fans usually love to see scoring.